Welcome back to the rules of engagement. Before we jump into analyzing game number 2 between MC and Innovation, let me remind you guys, if you're ever at a loss for Starcraft content, there's a lot of great content on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/official MLGSC2. The best content we have there right now. We have rules of engagement. I think my show is great. Hopefully you do too if you're watching it. All the episodes are there. But what's really amazing we have there, beyond comments today's top 5s, we have a lot of awesome stuff. But the most amazing thing, every single map from the MLG Winter Championships at Dallas, every single map is there, 1080p quality. Amazing games there. We pretty much had the entire Codes roster at that tournament, along with most of the best non-Koreans in the world, Stefano, etc. Insane tournament. All the VODs, 1080p quality. Go check it out. Great content. Game 2, MC versus Innovation. Let's move on to that now. MC, of course, lost game 1. Game number 2, a couple things we're going to talk about. First, defending Widow Mines. And then we're going to talk about Oracle openings in Protoss vs. Terran. Then we're going to talk about how to stick with a planned defense. So if you see something, you're like, okay, I'll defend it doing this. Sometimes you have to change your plan. Sometimes, if nothing changed, the original plan was good, stick with it. Easy to outsmart yourself. So we're going to jump into this game. We're going to talk about a little about defending the Widow Mine drops first. Well, yeah, there's a couple things. So MC is going to Oracle opening. It's something to note. So he's getting the Oracles out. And when you go Oracles, when you go airplay, one thing to know is that you won't have ground defenses or detection, right? So when you're playing an opponent like Innovation, who's going to go for those Widow Mine drops, right? Let's fast forward. It's just a tiny bit till the Widow Mine comes in. He's going to do a little bit of harass. Not too much is happening. But the Widow Mines are a threat, wherever they are. There they are. The Widow Mines, of course, are going to be a threat going forward. So how do you defend them? Well, we'll see. MC comes in here. What does MC have back at his base? He has 1 sentry, right? Why? Because he built a very little ground units. He has 2 Soccers. Those don't really help that much either. But he has the Oracle. So when the Widow Mines come in, what does he do? Well, he runs the probes. 1 Widow Mine lands here, right? Of course, the Widow Mine's going to kill 1 or 2 probes. And then more Widow Mines are going to come here. If you don't have detection or easy way to deal with it, feed probes at the Widow Mines 1 at a time. So you run the probes, then you send 1 back, take the hit. And then the rest can come in a mine, and also your Oracles can then clean up the Widow Mines without having to die to them. So let 1 probe take the hit, then you come in and clean it up. You don't have to go crazy and abandon mining forever. You want to evacuate the mineral line until the Widow Mine launches attack, then go back to mining and clean them up with the Oracles. Now, going forward, one thing it's important to note is that if you open Oracles, like MC did, and like MC, you got not too much done. I mean, he's got a couple workers killed here, but not a significant amount. You're in this position where, okay, I made a bunch of Oracles, right? But I haven't been able to kill too many workers with them. I haven't really found my harass a great success. So because, once you're fighting a giant bio army, they'll die instantly. They lose their combat value as the game progresses. Now, 1 Oracle or 2 Oracles are insanely valuable in the mid and late game sometimes. Not insanely valuable, but they can be useful. Revelation is a great ability. You can harass worker lines. But having a squadron of them, that much of an investment is going to put you in a very rough spot in the 14-minute mark as far as major engagements go. So, if you built them, you're like, okay, right now they're great against Marines. Why? Well, because the Marines don't have stim pack, they don't have combat shield, there's not a ton of medevacs healing them, right? As soon as combat shield happens, Oracles take 3 shots instead of 2 to kill Marines. Or if there's a medevac there and it gets this heal in between the attacks, it's going to take 3 shots instead of 2. So that's a very big difference. And of course, with stim pack, Oracles die fast. Basically, Oracles are great against the early game Marines. Mid game Marines, not so much. So if you make this many Oracles, it's always good to just say, you know what, let's go for a gateway timing. Because that way I can force an engagement while my Oracles are still relevant in a major engagement, right? So over here, he got a bunch of gateways. He's getting ready to go for an attack. Now, Innovation, of course, has scouted this because it's really good. He scouts 5 gateways. And he says, you know what? I know he's got a bunch of Oracles because I saw 4 Oracles with my medevac over there. I know he's got a bunch of gateways. I'm not going to try to hold my natural. I know that if I survive to stim pack, right? If I survive to about 4 to 5 medevacs, I win the game flat out. Especially as I get more and more Marines. There's nothing he can do. I win the game. So I'm just going to hold my natural. Or hold my main, right? I can give up to natural. I can lose this. It's okay. As long as I get the SCVs out, it's okay to lose this because I know he doesn't have a lot of tech, right? He's probably cut probes. He's only at 38 right now. And even if he gets more income than me because I give it my natural, my army will just slaughter him once I get stim pack and all the medevacs out. But then he has a change of heart. And he says, all right, no. SCVs, I love you. Don't die. So he comes down the ramp, and this is a mistake, right? If you wanted to hold the natural, you should have had 3, 4, 5 bunkers. At least 3, if not 4 or 5. And he knew what was happening. He had a plan to hold the main, wait for a stim pack, wait for 4 to 5 to 6 medevacs, and then there's nothing MC can do against his army. He being in very strong position. But then he changes his mind, says, you know what? Let's try to go save the natural. Let's try to save the SCVs instead of retreating them. And now he's stuck fighting before Stimpack finishes, when he only has 2 medevacs. And right here's when the Oracles shine. Look at this. Look at the Marines just evaporate. And of course, there's enough Gateway Army to deal with a few Marauders and SCVs. The Marines just die instantly. As long as there was some Zealous to take the first few Marine hits, there was no Stimpak, so the Marines could focus on Oracles very quickly. There was Time Warp, so they couldn't even stutter step. And yeah, he's dead, right? MC wins. Boom. Game over. So, the thing to note is if you're trying to defend Widow Mines, you don't have detection, don't abandon the mining area entirely. Abandon it temporarily, let one probe take the hit, then go back to mining, and then you can clean it up with the Oracles. One Oracle can envision, and then your other units can go and kill it off. If you're using Oracles and you have a bunch of them early, Oracle Gateway timings are really strong. If your opponent doesn't have enough bunkers, you're going to kill them. It's that simple. Like, if they don't have bunkers and stim and a lot of medevacs, you're going to kill them. And then on the other side, if you're Tyranny, you know they're going for an Oracle Gateway timing. Either get bunkers, or wait, hold a much easier spot to defend, which is behind a wall up into your main, and just defend that area until you get the Stimpak and the medevacs that you need to really fight that large Oracle count. You know, Innovation had that plan. It was a great plan, but came down to it. He had a soft spot for a couple SCVs that wouldn't leave him behind. Charge down the ramp, and of course, in a straight-on fight without stim or medevacs, the Oracle Gateway combination is going to be stronger. The big reason it was stronger is just because there was 5 warp gates versus 3 barracks, right? So it was a timing thing. Anyways, wraps up analysis of game number 2. Take a short break and be right on to game number 3.